Okay, it's recording now.
Amazing. Thank you, guys. So, hello, everyone. I am Andreas Haralambos. I am a Cypriot, and I am an activist and a political analyst. But this video today is not about me. It's about my guests. And this is the time to let them introduce themselves. So, Garen and Hakop, tell us a few words about who you are and what do you do in your daily lives, starting from Garen, please.
Okay, so hi, Andreas. My name is Garen Hakop. I'm born and raised in Cyprus, but ethnic Armenian with roots from historical Armenia, modern day Turkey, but historical Armenia. Before the war, I was living in Thailand. I was teaching English in a Thai high school and also a French high school at some point. My daily life was beautiful at that time. 6:30 a.m., wake up, go to the beach, take a swim before going to work. Life was pretty simple over there, but when the war started, I knew that my time in Thailand was limited. I couldn't live comfortably knowing that my people were being annihilated, let's say. So I took the first opportunity to go back to Cyprus and help with the humanitarian effort in whatever way I could.
What about you, Hakop?
Hi, Andreas. I'm Armenian Cypriot like Garen. We've got very similar roots. My family is from historical Armenia, modern day Turkey. I live in London. My life was a little bit more hectic than Garen's. I used to work as an accountant for 7 years. I now have my own company for the last years. And I myself as well believe that, we felt that, we had to come and do what we need to do for our people.
I get from the post on your page that the team is bigger than you two. So who are the other two people?
We have two more members, Hakop Atasyan and Larissa Sarkisyan. They also came from Cyprus to do whatever they can to help with the humanitarian crisis here in Artsakh.
Great. So let's. I have a question. I have been seeing the flag that you have behind you. One of the two flags I recognize, and even though I consider myself being a geography freak, one of the two I do not recognize, and I've seen it in your posts. Can you tell me a few things about that flag, Garen, please?
Okay, so this is the flag of Artsakh, Nagorno-Karabakh, but officially known as Artsakh. It is unrecognized internationally, unfortunately, but it's basically the Armenian flag with the arrow that points towards Armenia, because the main aim was the unity of this historically Armenian land with Mother Armenia. But because of the international community, it has never been accomplished.
Mm-hmm. So that gets us to the point. You are in this area, and this is the reason we are having this conversation today. And I will need you, Hakop, to get us further in. What is the reason you are in the area today, and what exactly are you doing there?
Look, Andres, we came to Artsakh because we felt the need that after the war, our people were in need. In the beginning, we came, we didn't know what we needed to do, but however, we quickly found out that, there's a humanitarian crisis here, as Garen mentioned, and basically we felt the need that we need to kind of cover the food program that we started. Okay, and we started distributing food, to families that, that lost refugee families, families that, lost their loved ones, their bread earners, and then basically closer to the Christmas, New Year's time, we felt the need that, the children that, that suffered so many losses, they needed, to feel for a second that, someone out there is thinking about them, someone feels for them, and, us being Armenians, we felt the need that we had to do, give them a small gift, something just to, for a few minutes, just to switch off from everything that was happening around them.
That is a great thing you're doing. It's admirable. And I believe there is only a few people that are doing it right now. Yes, there are more volunteers in the area, right?
There's not as many as we would hope, to be honest. There's a few Armenians who came here independently from around the world, America, France, Lebanon. I can't say we've met all of them, but really you can count them on one hand, let's say. And everyone is doing whatever they can to help with the situation, just like us.
So it's really exceptional what you're doing. How did the community receive you there, doing that, Garen?
In general, especially here in Artsakh, they've been very welcoming. The people here are very proud, and a lot of them are surprised to see that people from the Armenian diaspora left their relatively comfortable lives to come here and join them in this pool of misery and hopelessness, let's say. So a lot of them are very welcoming, they're very proud, and it gives them a little bit of hope to see that Armenians from outside still care about this place, because they feel like no one does. They feel completely abandoned, especially during the war and the reaction of the international community. They felt completely alone in this conflict and afterwards. So it's always nice to see how we are received by the locals here.
Well, judging from my own experience being in Sudan and in Syria before, I know that it's pretty hard to get into a conflict zone, and of course Cyprus, indeed. How hard was it for you to get there? Let me know more about the journey. Did you have second thoughts in the beginning, and how was the process to start your journey to Artsakh?
So basically, once you come to Armenia, you have to get, as a foreigner, as a Cypriot citizen, you have to get a visa from Yerevan to come here. To get here is no one blocks your road technically, but there's a danger, of crossing the Lachin corridor, which is this 5-kilometer wide piece of land that has been left that connects Armenia proper to Artsakh. And everyone was saying and still says that this road is particularly dangerous because all of Artsakh is literally encircled by Azerbaijan, and there's not enough Armenian troops or even Russian peacekeepers to monitor this whole road or even around it. So there have been kidnappings of Armenians who were trying to get into Artsakh. Everyone tells you don't travel at night because the Russian peacekeepers they don't have the same visual field, let's say, so they cannot see everything. So it's particularly dangerous, we're told. Like, thankfully, nothing happened to us, but unfortunately, there have been a few people who have been kidnapped, and later on we found out that they are still being held captive in Baku and being tried as terrorists or whatever. So there is a danger, and it only has to happen once, as people say. Thankfully, so we haven't encountered anything like that.
Of course. So, Hakop, in this effort, of course, you need money to sustain yourself, and of course, in order to provide to others. Are there any organizations or other international actors helping you with this? What is your source?
At the moment, we've started a GoFundMe campaign. We've raised some funds through that, but it's only been friends and family that actually have helped us so far. Friends from Denmark, England, Cyprus, from the US, from all around the world, but no such organization has kind of embraced what we're doing, and no one has actually has helped us with big funds or anything like that. It's just family and friends mainly, and then the GoFundMe campaign that we started.
How can we find that crowdfunding campaign? What platform is it on?
It's on GoFundMe, GoFundMe.com. we'll share the link with you guys. So, you know, if you can help, that would be great, you know, so we can continue the work that we've been doing and, you know, continue just, you know, as we've been doing it. That's it, yeah.
You can also find the link on our Artsakh support body Facebook page. It should be in the section, and also we usually post it under our updates, usually at the bottom of our, so you can find it on our Facebook page as well.
Great. So continuing from that part, from organizations not really being here to help the volunteers, asking Hakop again, how do you assess the general reaction of the international community, the media, and the United Nations in the Nagorno-Karabakh war?
Well, the United Nations have, you know, have condemned and then strongly condemned everything that has been happening. But, you know, we all know that in reality that does nothing to actually help or, you know, maintain the situation, because the problem is that Artsakh has not been recognized by Armenia itself. So, you know, it's kind of in a limbo, and the people are in a limbo as well as a consequence. And also there's another situation where, you know, the Azeri and the Turkish lobbies are so strong economically that basically anyone who actually does even condemn or strongly condemn the situation, you know, are held accountable by, you know, their governments later on. So no one, it's a nuclear situation. No one wants to touch it. No one wants to say nothing about it. And if you look at, you know, the situation around now, you know, there's more Turkish troops coming. You know, the Russians are willing to let those Turkish troops come. There are more bases. If I'm not mistaken, now there's about 14 bases in Azerbaijan. You know, they're all coming to the area. You know, they brought terrorists, you know, to fight this war. You know, they've used weapons that, you know, the international community, you know, always says that, you know, they're not supposed to be used on civilians, but, you know, they were used, and nothing is actually happening from, you know, this huge organizations that, you know, supposedly support peace. Words are cheap.
Garen was smiling at some moment on your comments. Do you want to add something?
So we usually make a joke about this, about how during the war, all these atrocities were taking place. The Azeris were using illegal white phosphorus munitions on troops and civilians. Also, cluster bombs were widely used against Armenian cities in Artsakh. And all the EU, the UN, and all these different organizations do is first condemn and then strongly condemn. Yeah, just empty words that do nothing in essence. And I wanted to add something to what he said. I was really disappointed with organizations like Human Rights Watch and Amnesty International, where they presented this conflict as a two-sided thing where both sides are committing the equal amount of atrocities, whereas there's way more evidence of Azeris beheading Armenian civilians and troops, Azeris executing Armenians, destroying religious sites, memorials. Really, the scale has been in their favor, let's say, in terms of atrocities. And these organizations that are clearly influenced by the Turkish and Azeri lobbies are trying to present it as some kind of like a balanced field between when you consider atrocities. But in reality, there's one side trying to eradicate all traces of Armenian history and culture from Artsakh. This shows how far infiltrated everything is, and the death of independent journalism and human rights observations, let's say.
Well, that's my view also, because with my journalistic background, I will judge that the media, the source to let people know what is going on there, since other people are not in the field, the people in the field and people with strong media, because also Turkey and Russia in the past few years, they've been enhancing their media, their international media sources. and they have a much greater voice than anyone else right now in the field. So they have a better communication source to those organizations, since the organizations are not in the field. So it's of course bad, but it's also understandable that this is the international view on the situation. And that was a really good point to make from your side. So closing this conversation, let's try to close it with a positive note, if there is any. What was the most beautiful moment that you experienced as a part of your endeavor, Garen?
It's hard to talk about beautiful moments at a time like this. Like the only beautiful moments have been where the locals have embraced us as their own, where we have had where you eat lunch or dinner together, and they embrace you in like family. Like it doesn't matter that you've never, let's say if you've never been here before or they've never met you before, they embrace you openly with their heart. But beautiful moments are very rare and far between. In general, the mood here is very miserable, or let's say hopeless. There's a strong feeling of hopelessness from the locals because they feel betrayed by Armenia, by the international community. They don't see a silver lining anywhere. And for us as well, I think it's very hard to find any positives from this. We continue to do what we do. We came here to help the people as much as we can, but it's hard to see a positive outcome at the end of the road.
Hakop, do you have something to add on that, or would you like to send a message?
The only message that I would like to send, and that's because there's nothing to add to that, because that's actually the situation here. You know, we're trying to find hope within ourselves, you know, to kind of continue what we're doing. And, you know, we're trying to tell the people, you know, if you like, try and give them some hope that, you know, things will be better. The only message that I would like to send is that, you know, the diaspora, the Armenians, the international community needs to kind of try and, you know, embrace people like us and other volunteers that they are here, to try and, you know, with every way possible, you know, there's a lot of professionals that, you know, need to come here to help the country stand up again. And all these professionals need to be here on the ground. It's not enough sending funds, okay? Because by sending funds, you know, you don't know if they're actually going to where they need to be. Okay, so people need to come here. More Armenians need to come. More people that, you know, they've got, you know, they've got their professionals on, you know, agriculture, on, you know, different sectors, that they can come and see how they can actually assist, you know, this you know, state, this republic that we have, because we're going to lose, you know, the only land we've got left. And by, you know, sadly, from what we're understanding, we will lose Armenia as well as a consequence, because how, you know, the Turks are moving, you know, around the area, the feeling that we're getting that, you know, yes, Artsakh is today, tomorrow is Armenia. Okay, they're putting pressure.
And we have the past as example. We know what happened some decades before, and the international community knows, and they should have been more aware and more active on the situation right now that might actually repeat itself. History looks like it's starting to repeat itself. Garen.
This should serve as a warning to Cyprus back home and Greece as well, that this is realpolitik. Yeah, these are the rules of life. When you see your neighbor who you have historical enmity with, when you see them getting so strong, they will use their military advantage at some point. You cannot just assume that everything is going to be all right. So this should be a stark warning for the rest of the region as well, that they should be prepared for such events, a conflict on this scale.
Yeah, we need to keep this in mind. Thank you guys for the conversation, and of course, thank you for what you're doing. We owe to support you in any way we can. Everyone, we're keeping the information you gave us. Whoever can send funds, let's do that. Whoever can get to the area and help firsthand, let's do that. It's the least we can do. Thank you guys for everything you're doing. Thank you for your time. I hope you the best for you and for everyone who are under this sad situation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andreas.
And thank you.